I've yet to try my hardtail up in British Columbia, so let's go try some hard trails on the hardtail.
Wouldn't mind if I had a little bit bigger front rotor right about now. So how is it on a hardtail? After a summer full of riding a full suspension bike on trails just like this here, I thought it'd be fun to come up, bust out the old hardtail after a long hiatus, and see just how it does on some of British Columbia's most famous trails. Let's drop in and see if we'd vibrate ourselves to pieces or if we have a wonderful time.
I diagnosed myself with the size medium Chromeg stylus back in April 2020 and released a few very popular videos with it since. But just like rollerblading, as rad as this hardtail is, we've all kind of forgotten about it. I tend to ride my hardtail most when trail conditions are at their worst, whether that's winter slop or in this case, a midsummer dust bowl.
I totally lost the trail. Yeah, a lot less forgiveness if you get offline on a hardtail, that's for certain. Let's try again and not get offline this time.
Many of us grew up riding hardtails. Heck, I never even rode a full suspension bike until I was in college back in 2003. But the hardtails of that era have little in common with today's shockless wonders. Trails around my region are quite steep, and with the popularity of mountain biking, often have substantial jumps and berms. My original goal with this video is to ride Chromeg's hometown of Whistler, Canada, but when Logan encountered some automotive trouble in Vancouver rush hour traffic, that plan quickly skidded to a halt. It's all about using that high quality, lightweight T-handles for automotive purposes.
This is great, just have someone else do it for me.
Logan's truck seized a brake caliper and he nearly rear-ended a car in front of him.
It's a great Whistler trip.
Yeah.
I do every single automotive job right because I have to do it twice.
There you go.
Needless to say, it wouldn't be wise to drive the Sea to Sky highway without brakes, so we did what we had to do.
Riley's way better than Lordco.
Yeah, Logan was able to get his money back on the new caliper, and now we're using a fresh C-clamp Logan just bought to try.
Video of me squirting.
With our shade tree mechanicking done for the day, we didn't quite have the time to make it to Whistler, so we opted for some closer trails instead. I've never ridden these specific trails before, but I've certainly seen them all on the internet. The thought of trying them on the hardtail sounded like a lot of fun, so let's air down those tires, drop that saddle, and grimace our way into a rock slab adventure.
Oh, sweet. Hello. We,
You guys are going that way? Yeah.
I think so. Thanks, guys. Sweet Chromeg.
All right, have a good one.
You too.
Really just entire bridge.
Oh, hell yeah. Good job. What'd you do to get through this?
It worked.
Just bashed it?
It's like one of those things that I kept expecting them to work. And it just kept working.
That's pretty cool. Those are all my favorite video moves.
Do me a favor, if you don't believe Logan's story about wheeling that entire bridge, scroll on down and hit that red subscribe button. One thing I do want to mention, right away on the hardtail, I couldn't believe it, but it definitely climbs better than even the best full suspension bike. You pedal and immediately you go up the hill quickly. It's kind of cool.
So the hardtail on some pretty gnarly trails, well, it was a lot more fun than I came in expecting it to be. You have to kind of adjust your expectations a little bit, and you end up having more fun in some places than you would on a big long travel bike. And naturally, you have less fun in some other places, but it's so cool changing it up and getting that whole different experience. I've generally been riding it with a 160 Fox 36 Grip 2 up front, and then 27.5 carbon fiber wheels front and rear, no inserts, kind of small 2/4 tires. And it's okay in that configuration. It's just like, I can hop on it. I feel like I can't go fast enough to validate like pelvis protector or knee pads, so I kind of call it my cross-country rig and just kind of fart around on the trails, and that's really fun. I enjoy like dialing it back a bit, especially this time of the year when it's so dry and dusty and slippery. Anyhow, backing up to this configuration, so I've got a Lyric up front, 160 travel, same travel as the 27.5 fork, but then it's back to the mullet wheel set. And man, this bike rides so much better on the Gnar with this setup than it does with the same sized wheels. It's just mind-blowing how much more confidence this inspires. This town is really known for its like slabs and rock rolls and all that kind of stuff, which means like it's famous for riding your bike really slowly, heavily on the brakes. Oh, it's a bit of a rock roll here. All this hardtailing has been fun, but man, I am sweating up a storm. Here in the Pacific Northwest, we're really close to the sun with this high latitude, but it's also pretty darn hot out and surprisingly humid. As you're out riding and pedaling on your hardtails or whatever bike it is, and you're sweating a ton, you start to lose your electrolytes. That's the electrical conduit from your brain to the rest of your body that keeps your body going. So even though you can drink a bunch of water, if you don't have the electrolytes, then it doesn't really work as it should. I just got a bloody nose, which is the telltale sign of dehydration, so I'm gonna snap into an element right about now. Element's a very simple mix of potassium, magnesium, sodium with a tiny bit of stevia extract to keep it sweet. And I'm gonna add one of these to my water bottle, and I'm gonna supplement that with a full hydration pack of the good old H2O. For a limited time, Element's offering anyone that uses the link in my description below, drinkelement, lmnt.com/Jeff, Jeff, a free sample pack. If you've already taken advantage of that offer once, that link's still good for as many times as you wanna do. So use that link with your Element purchases and enjoy your free sample packs. Today we're drinking orange salt, which is one of my favorite flavors. I'm gonna add one of these to my water bottle. Stay salty, everyone.
So here's our warm-up for the day. Check out this little rock roll.
A little bumpy without the squishing back.
In preparation of all these rock slabs, I did throw in a fresh set of brake pads, and they kind of sort of wore in right about here.
They say you don't know what you got until it's gone. In this case, what we've got gone is one word: traction. On a rock roll like this, you really want a lot of traction so you don't end up skidding when you hop on the brakes. Well, when we compared different rim widths on this bike, I found that I really preferred the 36mm wide, just massive rims. I wasn't expecting this, but kind of a cool bonus of that extra wide rim with the bigger tires, you've got more contact patch on the ground, so that in turn means more traction. It's also more comfortable, so I'm stoked I still have these 36mm wide rims on here. And I've got kind of a goofy tire setup with a 2.6 in back and then a 2.5 in front, but way more traction than I ever expected, which is nice on these rock rolls where you're just on the brakes. No front brake in the turn. In the theme of rock rolls, we're gonna try one of the more well-known rock roll trails around here. My fingers are crossed, jazzed up from the last couple. Keep going as smooth and safely as possible. So believe it or not, rock rolls are not my favorite thing to ride. I'm not very good at riding slow. I rarely ride like as fast as I can. Here's Logan doing it. Nice. Normally I ride like trail speed, which is kind of boogieing, but not like a race pace or anything. I feel comfortable at that speed. Trying to go real slow on the brakes, I don't know what's gonna happen always going slow. I've not practiced riding slow. Rock rolls, you gotta go real slow and careful. The internet said it rides great. What's your report?
Yeah, it rides good. I went faster than I
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly sure how to ride that little hole thing.
In the middle?
Yeah.
I figured just go slow one wheel at a time over it.
Drop the front end and then like lose it. But I did go, yeah, I kind of went fast over that and got a lot of speed from it.
Yeah, this will roll good, and then the run out isn't the worst nor the greatest. I'm gonna be all proper and like walk this out and scout it. Okay, yeah, way over to the left. Once you're on it, there's better visibility than when you're at the top of it.
Notice that looking straight ahead from the top of this rock roll, you're about even with the tops of the trees.
All right, real chill and real casual. That worked better than I expected. It was faster and gnarlier than I expected. I have to admit, I did enjoy that more than I thought I would too. I had no idea Hardtail could get down that with that level of control. There's town. But, oh yeah, I've seen this in all the internet videos. Hello.
Love the videos.
Oh, thank you. Where are you guys from?
Victoria.
Oh, beautiful. Cool, the most distinguished city in North America. This rock slab has been made famous by the internet. Let's just leave it at that. I've actually never ridden it before, so this is a first go. So I've heard the run out here is pretty sketchy, so I'm gonna take it real chill. I don't need to fall out of the sky.
Old school hardtails rolling on those pizza cutters are certainly sketchy through all this. But with a sub 65 degree head tube angle and a solid rearward weight bias, I kind of felt like I was rolling up to the drive-in.
Oh, I got good traction, wow. Super chill.
Ready for a fresh double-double with plenty of time for that strawberry shake at the end. On one hand, it was almost a little disappointing the bike worked so well. On the other, it's a new challenge, which made all this stuff a little trickier, and that right there is fun. The crux, though, is how much risk do I want to take?
Well, James, I won't hold you up. Go get him. Yeah. You got it. Woo! Nice, James. Nice.
While the hardtail does make things harder, as a result, a little more fun, it simply increases risk. Traction is significantly reduced and margin for error is much smaller. On the flip side, if you do tumble on that hardtail, you're likely going slower in the first place.
Oh, a little off. I don't know, I'll try the gap. I don't think it's too sketchy. That's fine.
I know, everyone does stoppies down this, but I had kind of a good reason to not do
Jeff.
one.
Nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for saying hello. I met James at the top before he did it.
I heard him, you gave him some advice?
No. Oh, I did say maybe go like a mile an hour faster, but maybe that's not good advice, so.
Maybe a little nose manual down.
Yeah, this bike doesn't nose wheelie that good. It's such a short bike. It's a little sketchy. Like my enduro bikes are way easier, so kind of don't even want to try.
Yeah, that's fair.
This guy's shredding. So cruising down the famous rock roll in the hardtail, it wasn't that big of a deal. The main line is super smooth and grippy. So I might try the high performance line. Wouldn't mind if I had a little bit bigger front rotor right about now.
Like many of you, I've got a kiddo and responsibilities at home. Ideally, I avoid any spontaneous encounters with gravity or its close evil friend, the immobile object. I think I'll continue with the hardtail and hard trails concept, but quite
chill.
honestly, with a somewhat conservative approach.
I thought it was gonna be steeper.
How many of you have ridden these trails on your own
No, it's
hardtail?
fine.
Why do you do it? Do you think hardtails have made you a better rider, or has it gone the other way for you? Let me know in the comments down below.
What's your name?
Francisco.
Francisco, Jeff.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
From Surrey, but I'm born in
Suri.
El Salvador.
El Salvador, muy bien.
Yeah, muy bien.
Yeah. Sí, claro.
Oh, qué
Ya vive en España un año.
wow. Está y mountain biking en España.
Sí, muchísimo. There's a bounce move right here.
Moving on from that feature, the rest of the ride was pretty eye-opening.
This Lyric 164 was also better than I anticipated. It's quite a bit stiffer fore-aft than I expected. It looks small when you look down as a rider. It looks kind of like a pike, like it looks rinky-dink. But then you get on the front brake, and I kept expecting the front wheel to pull back and shorten the whole front end and get sketchy. Nuh-uh, it did pretty good. When we first set this bike up as a mullet 2 years ago, I used a really short stem, like a 35 or something, and it felt horrible. I went through and put on a 45 mil stem, and I also changed up, put a cush core in back, and it got it feeling a lot better. But yeah, that 160 Lyric fork, man, that thing was really good. I'm pretty impressed with it. Way stiffer than I thought it would be. It's super smooth. The damping, I've got it right in the middle, and that feels pretty good. So yeah, this thing was totally like a lot more fun than I expected. So this is more fun than the big long travel enduro bikes when you're in the tighter sections of trail. It's a lot easier to manipulate this thing around slow turns and all that because it is so short. I am 5'8" tall. That's 174 centimeters if you live in the rest of the world. This is a size medium. I probably should have got the larger size. They have an M/L size, right in between a medium and a large. I should have gone for that for trail riding. As an aging BMXer, I thought I'd go with something smaller and jib around. I don't really like tiny bikes. I like medium-ish, racy-ish bikes, but not too racy, in the middle. I thought it'd be cool to try some nose wheelies down the slabs, but man, they're so much harder on the short bike than on the longer enduro bikes. I think on any of my full suspension enduro sleds, could have gone 2 or 3 times as far as I could on this little guy. That was okay, would have been fun to do more. Wheelies on the small bike, it's a little abrupt to pull into it, but you actually have a lot of control thanks to the big square rear tire, and I'm running a pretty low tire pressure, probably like 22 PSI. Definitely hit rim a few times, but with the cush core, nothing blew up. That was good. If you guys enjoyed this video, then give a big thanks to Element for helping support this. I've got the electrolytes in the bike now, and a lot of you have used them and had good reports, so if you've used them and you like them, let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this type of video where it's less bike part component centric and more riding focused, leave me a note in the comments down below and hit that subscribe button and help me out a little bit with that. Peace and wheelies. I'll see you in the comments just below this. Thanks, everyone.